Hey everyone, What If Fan here, bringing you another exciting part of What If Martial Artist Reborn is Kenichi Shirahama. You can find the fanfic title and the original author's name on my Patreon page. Make sure to check it out and show them some love. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Quick update. The series What If Transmigrated to a Medieval Pokémon World is now on hold, since we've caught up with the author. So now, I need your help picking the next project for the channel. I'm currently deciding between these three fanfics. What if creating the strongest Strawhat crew by reading manga? What if Reincarnated in Bleach as Toshiro Hitsugaya? What if Reborn in Naruto World, continuation? Please vote in the poll and let me know which story you'd like to see next. I'll take the top pick and start working on that series next. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. Alright, let's jump into it. Chapter 161, Almost. Kenichi nodded his head as he said, "It will be good if Mio rests for the night, as her fever is more psychological than physiological. There isn't much that we can do other than being here with him," while his eyes roamed around Mio's body. Smack *, don't stare, came Shigure's voice from behind Kenichi as she smacked Kenichi's head with her hand. Hey, you can't you stop appearing like that, Kenichi said to Shigure but didn't got any response. And what do you mean don't stare? She is my girlfriend, so of course I can stare as much as I want, Kenichi continued. He was already doing great as he haven't deflowered any of his girlfriends yet. Though for everyone he had reasons for not doing so, but still. Is that true? Asked Shigure from Siko. Well, I don't have any problem with Kenichi looking at my body, and I don't have any problems if you want to do more than just that, Siko said with her sadistic smile on her face. Oof. I am fine as well, Renka said. Okay. Shigure said as she nodded her head and started to strip her clothes. What are you doing, Shigure-san? Asked Renka. Showing my body to my boyfriend. Shigure said. Wow. Kenichi said as he saw Shigure's well-endowed breasts and gulped, "Those are some nice babies right there." Okay. You should go out, Kenichi, or I know you won't be able to control yourself, Siko said as she saw that Mio had fallen asleep after taking Shigure's medicine and grabbed Kenichi's hand, dragging him out of the room and closing the door behind him. Wait, Siko. Kenichi shouted, but Siko had closed the door. Shit, this time I could have gotten more than just a look. I will spank Siko for this one later. Kenichi moved towards his room and opened the door, seeing that both Najima and Natsu were waiting for him. Oh, what are you guys doing? Asked Kenichi. What else, we are waiting for you. Najima stated, now tell us what happened. I will, but first let me take a shower, after which I will tell you everything, Kenichi said as he walked towards the shower. Oi! Kenichi! Najima called, but Kenichi didn't look back, and people say that I am an alien who doesn't care. Whenever I show it they don't respect it. It's because it's rarely seen that we think there is a plot behind that care as well, Natsu stated. After a quick shower, Kenichi came from the bathroom and sat on his bed. Now for the answer of your question, it was a close call. Ha! He was that strong? Natsu asked in surprise. What? Jihan. No way, he wasn't any trouble at all. I finished the fight in his hotel only, but after that when I was coming back his master, or whom he likes to call Guru, tried to kill him and his servants asked for my help, which of course I did. After which Apachai found me, then came Jihan's master Genizad Silkwat, and when Jihan sneak attacked me and I bested him, then this master of his interfered and tried to force amnesia on me so that he could take me with him, but luckily Apachai was there and protected me, explained Kenichi. Man, that's bad. It means other than Agata, there is one more Yami's master knows about you and wants you, Najima said. Then what happened to Jihan? Asked Natsu. Oh. Him. I am not sure, but Genizat roared and caused an avalanche, and though we wanted to help him but he didn't want it, so he either must be dead, buried in the snow, or he must have crawled out of the snow and survived, Kenichi stated. This Genizat is dangerous, really dangerous. Najima said. Yes. A man who doesn't care about master martial artist or disciple martial artist or a common man, as long as he can kill, he would be satisfied. Kenichi stated. Get some sleep, Kenichi. You must have been dead tired. You won't be able to rest tomorrow as we will be returning back from the trip, Natsu stated. Kenichi nodded his head and lied on his bed to sleep as much as he can while Natsu eyed Naijima as if warning him to not disturb Kenichi anymore. So, Nagaraja or Jihan has fallen, chuckled Sho as he sat on a handrail inside a rather luxurious house, looking towards the fellow members of Yomi. Boris, the Stanley siblings, Chikage Kushinada, Tairawat, Choenshin, and Ryuto Asamiya. Ryuto, despite being stuck on the wheelchair for now, still retained his purple hair. His confinement to his wheelchair had made him lose a little muscle, giving him a more slender frame, but still a competent fighter. He was paralyzed from the waist down, but from what he could tell, he would be regaining control of his legs pretty soon enough. He could still feel them, but his ki network was still recovering. Both sclera of his eyes retained their original color. Kenichi had managed to prevent the worst from happening to Ryuto. Sho looked around and frowned as despite ordering all the Yomi to gather around, he did not see Satomi Kajima. That man was direct disciple of One Shadow and also the eldest of them all. For some reason he didn't fall under his orders as much, despite being disciple of all 10 masters of Yomi. When he asked where Satomi was, Sensui, who was wearing the disguise of Saiga Furinagi, told him to not to worry about him, that he would arrive later. It did rattle Sho a little that he was learning under Kirimasego clan, a clan thought he was from. Though that said clan did complain that Hongo wasn't strict enough on Sho, which rankled Sho. Still he would choose to be with his first master no matter what. Shaking that train of thought, he looked at his fellow Yomi members once and Shin was staring out of the window as usual. Out of their whole group, Cho and Satomi were the furthest of them all. Though Satomi would at least drop by from time to time with 2 other Kirimasego clan girls and talk with them. He recalled their name being Hikari and Hikaru. Any opinions, gentlemen? Chapter 162, Family. Any opinions, gentlemen, continued Sho. His master said that he could easily raise another disciple on par with Jihan straight away, but that doesn't matter. What's more interesting is who's next. As each one of them kept their faces stoic, each one had their own thought processes. Tairawat, Cho, and Chikage didn't really care as they would take care of the situation when it presented itself. Rachel was pondering where to go to attract attention as usual, and her younger brother Ethan was more concerned about where Rachel was going to go and hoped not to get in trouble as usual. Boris, however, pondered about the short exchange he had with Kenichi. Just how strong was Kenichi? Just defeating Jihan wasn't enough information to go by. His gaze fell upon Ryuto as he looked around the room. Perhaps asking someone who had actually fought Kenichi and was currently alive would give him some more information, even if he did look like lost terribly. As for Ryuto, he could only sigh as he felt sorry for the next person who will fight against Kenichi. Being in Yomi now, he could tell that he was probably the weakest member of the group, even before his fight with Kenichi. Still, the fact that Kenichi not only completely overwhelmed him despite using Sidu Gutsu, but even he could tell with his inexperienced eyes that Kenichi was levels beyond them. It frustrated him that he was so far behind him, but he was also thankful that Kenichi managed to fix his ki network during the fight. Ogata hadn't cared about the consequences, just the results, which made Ryuto lose some respect towards him. Still, he wouldn't say anything that would give Yomi the upper hand, as he wanted to fight Kenichi once more when he was recovered. Ryazapuko Dojo. Kenichi, Mio, Apachai, Renka, Siko and Shigure came back to the dojo. Though Siko wanted to go home, but Mio insisted that she stays with her for the night as there was no one in Siko's home since her sister went to States. "We are back," shouted Kenichi as he opened the dojo doors. But instead the usually vibrant masters of his were silent, even his master Sakaki, who would be seen drinking, usually wasn't drinking and had a serious face when he looked at Kenichi. "Kenichi! You are back!" Kensei asked, "How was your trip?" Master Kensei is asking about the trip and isn't doing anything perverted. Something is really wrong. "What happened?" asked Kenichi. "There have been a big problem," Kenichi spoke. Elder Hayato. "What can be a big problem for you, Elder?" asked Kenichi, now becoming serious as well. "What is it, Grandfather?" Mio asked. "Yes, please tell us, Papa. Renka asked as well. You all should sit down, Akasame will be coming any second, after which we will tell you everything. Elder Hayato stated. Seeing that they won't be getting any answer until Akasame comes back, they sat down and surprisingly Kensei offered them tea. As Kensei served the tea, Akasame entered the dojo room and stopped on his tracks when he saw everyone that was present there. Master Akasame, you are back. Now tell me what has happened. The others are saying that they won't speak until you are back. What is it? Asked Kenichi. Are those girls okay? Asked Elder Hayato. Yes, they are still unconscious, but their life is not in danger and it won't affect them in the future as well. Luckily the guards they were wearing helped them, otherwise their injuries could have been more serious, Akasame said. What? What are you people talking about? Renka asked. Sigh. Kenichi, I am sorry to tell you, but it looks like someone has kidnapped your mother and Akasame was interrupted as Kenichi shouted "No!" As he shouted he released his ki, internal energy, filled with killing intent. Who? How? Why? We don't know who it was. Why they did it. But we do know how they did, even if we are not fully sure about it. Kensei said. The girls that were protecting your mother are currently in my clinic and were grievously injured when we found them, but thankfully we found them on time and treated them, but they still haven't regained their consciousness, Akasame said. Just as Akasame talked about the girls, Kenichi stood up and ran towards Akasame's clinic to check on the girls and see if they have regained their consciousness. Wait for us, Kenichi, shouted Miyoshi. Renka and Siko followed right after him. Where is Anoka? Shigeru asked as she stood up as well. She and K-Case are sleeping in Mo's room, but they don't know about the kidnapping, Kensei stated. Good, Shigeru said, after which she also ran out of the room following the others. At Akasame's clinic, Kenichi entered the clinic followed by the girls, and they saw Raichili and Tsukasa lying on the medical bed as their arms, legs, waist and heads wrapped in bandages. Oh my god, who did that to them? Mio said. Their injuries look really bad, Siko said. They are, but I need to know who is the one who kidnapped my mother, Kenichi said. What are you going to do, Kenichi? They are unconscious, so how could they talk anything to you, Kenichi? Mio said. I will have to woke them up, Kenichi stated. No, shouted all four girls at once. You are not in your right mind, Kenichi, Siko said. Relax, I am not going to hurt them at all. Instead, I will help them to get better, Kenichi stated. What are you going to do, Kenichi? Asked Shigeru. Something which I have become good at, Kenichi answered as he walked towards the two girls' bed. It sat between the two, grabbing their hand and started using his ki, internal energy, to run into the girls' bodies to heal them. After continuously healing Kate's illness, Kenichi had become better at using his ki to heal people, which was clearly showing effects as he could feel the two girls' injury healing, more especially their head injury, cause of which they were unconscious. Chapter 163, Sari's Kidnapping Part 1. After continuously healing Kate's illness, Kenichi had become better at using his ki to heal people, which was clearly showing effects as he could feel the two girls' injury healing, more especially their head injury, cause of which they were unconscious. Groaned Raichi as she slowly started to regain consciousness, and after half a minute later Tsukasa also started to regain consciousness. Kenichi continued to heal the two until they were fully conscious and their head injury was healed. Huff. Huff, ha, you two are fine, right, Huff? Kenichi asked as he took deep breaths. We are sorry, said the two girls at once when they saw Kenichi and collected their thoughts. We couldn't protect Aunt Saori, Tsukasa said. Sniff, she was so good to us and we wanted to protect her, sniff. But Raichi explained while crying a little, but they sent a matter class sword user martial artist, and we couldn't stand against him. It's okay, Raichi, Tsukasa, I know you wouldn't be here if you hadn't tried your best to protect my mother. But I need to know what happened there to figure out how to help my mother, Kenichi stated. Yes, Tsukasa said, it was in the morning when we met Aunt Saori. Flashback. So you are going to make your son's favorite dishes today, asked Raichi. Yes, he went on a trip with his friends and will be coming back today from there. Although he lived at the dojo most of the time, but I specifically told him to come home for the dinner as I wanted to surprise him with his favorites since it has been quite some time that I made all of his favorites, Saori said with a smile. Is there any reason for all this? Tsukasa asked. Actually there is. My son has gotten some beautiful girls by his side who are like daughter to me, and every one of them has a unique personality which makes my son happy. Though truthfully I may start to like them more than my son in the coming time as they will be my daughter-in-laws, explained. Saori smiled. Oh, so this is because your son has chosen girls with good personalities by his side, Raichi stated. Exactly. Saori chirped. I am sure they will be happy to hear that. Tsukasa said. Happy. Oh, happy isn't the word you should use, came a deep voice from in front of them as they saw a man reaching almost 2 meters carrying a curved sword on his back with large smile on his face. It's terrified. Yeah, that's what you should use, he finished. Tsukasa and Reichi's body got tensed when they saw the man in front of them as they weren't able to sense him until he spoke, meaning he was a lot better than them, and the amount of killing intent he released when he finished his words showed that he wasn't here to become their friend either. Who are you? Asked Saori as she wasn't able to understand the situation fully. A grown man who was around 195 meters standing in front of them with a sword and blocking their tour to move forward, but she didn't know the reason for that. Is it something that my husband did that you are here for? Saori asked. My name is Arata Nakamura and I am from Yomi's weapon division, but I am not here because of your husband. It's your son who have made few people upset and they don't like being upset, said the now identified Arata. Yomi. What is Yomi doing getting involved in doing someone's bidding? Raichi asked as she went into defensive mode along with Tsukasa as their opponent just became more dangerous. Ha! A man got to eat and fulfill his wishes as well, and when there is someone who is giving up so much money for free, I will take that, thank you, said Arata as he took out the sword from his back and said, now Mrs. Saori Shirahama, you can either follow me on your own or I will kill your bodyguards and then forcefully take you with me. Your choice. Bodyguards? They are not my bodyguards. They are just two lovely girls whom I have get no recently, stated Saori, but then she saw Raichi and Tsukasa walking up from behind her in totally different clothes. Raichi and Tsukasa had stripped their normal clothes and their battle gear that they were wearing underneath it was shown. They even wore the guards and helmet that they kept in the bags. Raichi in her skater's suit with her helmet and glasses included, and Tsukasa in her ninja suit with guards covering her joints. You are not taking her from us without a fight, Tsukasa said. Hee hee, that's what I was hoping for, said Arata as he rushed towards the two the same way they did. Arata slashed the sword horizontally and the two dodged them, with Raichi jumping above in the air while Tsukasa crouching down so that the two could attack from two different positions. Arata smiled as he said, you will have to do more than that, blocking Tsukasa's kick with his leg and Raichi's kick with the sword. He pushed Raichi back with his sword while his other leg kicked Tsukasa on her stomach, throwing her back as spit came out of her mouth. Raichi did a backflip in the air after getting pushed from Arata's sword and checked on Tsukasa, who was coughing but slowly standing up. Unlike some weapon users, I also use my body to fight, said Arata with his smile. Tsukasa-chan, are you alright? Asked Saori as she started to walk towards her. No. Don't come, Saori-san, it's dangerous here. Stay there, Tsukasa has handled worse than that. Raichi stopped Saori. But Saori wanted to say something but got interrupted by Tsukasa. I am fine. Cough, don't worry about me, she said as she once again went into battle stance. Haha, I really hit the jackpot this time, Arata said. After which he once again moved while the girls went into defensive as they, instead of wanting to take him down, just decided to waste time so that backup could reach to them. Even then the fight was one-sided. No matter what they did, they weren't able to gain upper hand, and the time that was getting wasted was all because Arata was enjoying torturing the girls. He was injuring them, but not with such a severe one that they could not fight again. Chapter 164, Saori's Kidnapping Part 2. He was injuring them but not with such a severe one that they could not fight again. If you are waiting for backup, then it won't be coming until I am done with you. As my men have secured the perimeter and won't allow anyone to pass through that easily, said Arata as he kicked Tsukasa away while his sword destroyed Raichi-Lee's helmet. Hearing that news, both girls' face was filled with despair for a few seconds, but then there was nothing else but determination. This time they moved with much more fierceness than ever. Raichi tried to use Chukuru as she turned and punched towards Arata's face and stomach at the same time, but he easily parried the punch with his sword and then punched her at her face. The force of the punch was such that she was flung backwards with her head bumping into the wall and creating a large injury there. While Raichi moved to use Chukuru, Tsukasa moved to his back and with her full strength to kick on his head. But Seats dodged the kick as he swayed his head, then slashed his sword backwards. Tsukasa, not having enough time to dodge, brought her hands close to her chest as they were covered with arm guards. Her hands remain intact, but the force of the attack flung her back and her head crashed onto the street pole as blood started to pour out of it. Now to finish it all, Arata said as he walked towards Raichi first to end her life. "Stop it," shouted Saori. "Ha, why should I stop? This is one of the most important thing in a fight, the feeling of cutting flesh with my sword," Arata said with a smile. "You are here for me, right? I will go with you without any resistance if you let them go, otherwise you won't be able to take me easily. I would bite my tongue and die if you hurt those girls," Saori said with determination on her face. "No!" shouted Arata, Raichi, and Tsukasa at once. "Oh, you both still haven't lost consciousness yet," Arata said with a raised eyebrow. "Well, it doesn't matter, since I can't kill you, I will just leave you there." With that he moved towards Saori and said, "I didn't kill them, now come with me without any resistance or they will die." "Wait, don't go. Saori-san," said Raichi while trying to keep her eyelids open. "Please, wait," Tsukasa said as well. "Tell my son he has some explanation to give after this," Saori said with a smile as she silently followed and entered a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon X. Flashback end. After hearing that story, Kenichi was silent as he was cursing at himself for not taking those businessmen seriously, as according to him they were the only current enemies he had other than Yomi, who weren't the type to go after his family if they wanted something from him, leaving those businessmen as the only plausible explanation. Another mistake of his was that he didn't consider anything of this sort of happening, as it never happened in the story. Moreover, he never thought that they would be so well connected that they could hire a sword master from Yami's weapon division. "Kenichi, do you think that this is the way of Yomi getting back at you for right at Jihan's death?" asked Myo. "Firstly, it wasn't me who killed him, and all of them would know about it, as that is the reason for us fighting each other, as I follow Katsujinkan while they follow Satsujinkan," Kenichi stated as he looked at the girls and continued. "Secondly, if they were the type to stoop so low, then our masters would have told us about that, but no, they are martial artists just following a different creed from us, and I would like to believe that's all the difference we need. YMI teaches their students who are YOMI, and they always challenge face to face, so their students would never do anything to disgrace their master's name," Shigeru informed. "So who could it be?" Renka said. But before anyone else could say anything on that matter, the door opened and Apachai was standing there with a big in his hands. "Kenichi, someone sent this for you," said Apachai, handing the box to Kenichi on which his name was written. Kenichi opened the box and a pen drive was in it. "What is this?" asked Apachai. "Is it a candy?" "No, Apachai, it's a pen drive which is used to store data from a computer or laptop," Kenichi said as he looked at the pen drive. "Who would send you a pen drive, Kenichi?" asked Siko. "Well, we will have to see what's inside it first to know from whom it can be," said Kenichi as he took out his phone and called Naijima. "Yes, hello Kenichi, what happened?" Naijima asked. "Being your laptop to the Dono first, then I will tell you," Kenichi said. Okay, I will be there in 20 to 30 minutes at most," Naijima stated. "Good, I will be waiting," said Kenichi and disconnected the phone. "So you called Naijima to use his laptop?" Siko asked. "Yes, other than him mine have been went to repair and there isn't anyone else whom I know have one," Kenichi said as he thought maybe I should buy a new one. "You both girls should rest, we will tell you if we hear anything about Aunt Saori," said Renka. "Yeah. Even if Kenichi healed most of the injuries, a little rest will be better for you," Myo said. "But we want to help," Raichi said. "Yes, it was our job to keep Aunt Saori safe, but we couldn't do that at all," Tsukasa added. "Then get well soon and then you can help us, okay," Kenichi said as he stood up from his seat and looked at the two girls. Okay," sighed the two girls in unison. Leaving the two girls to rest alone, Kenichi and others went to the dojo and told everything they heard from the girls to the masters there. So someone wants something from Kenichi and they want to use his mother as a leverage. Chapter 165, Video. So someone wants something from Kenichi and they want to use his mother as a leverage, Akasame said. Well, this pen drive came at such a moment that I am sure that we will know what they want for my mother, Kenichi said. Whoever that guy is, we have to make an example out of him, otherwise we won't be able to protect Kenichi from Yomi if they also tried this method, Sakaki said, crushing the best bottle in his hand. As the masters were discussing ways to deal with kidnapper of Kenichi's mother, he silently waited for Nijima, who came earlier than expected. I am here, Kenichi, shouted Nijima as he entered the dojo with his laptop in his hand. You came earlier than expected? Kenichi asked. Yeah. Because I knew there was something important that happened, hence I came as early as possible, Nijima stated as he passed on the laptop to Kenichi. Thanks, Nijima, Kenichi said as he took the laptop and inserted the pen drive in it. There was only one video in the pen drive, so Kenichi played the video for everyone to see. The video started with the shadow of a man seen on it. His face couldn't be seen as there wasn't any light around him. Then he spoke. Hello, Mr. Shirahama, you must be thinking, who is this man that doesn't even have the guts to show his face to you? Well, think whatever you want, I don't care, just know that I have your mother with me, so if you want to see her by your side again, you will do as I say. As he said so, the video of Sari bound in a chair was shown, then it returned back to showing the man in shadow. As you can see, I wasn't lying. Now the thing that I want you to do is come to Hotel Deluna by 2 p.m. so that you can return the ownership of Gauche Industries, which belongs to us. If you are late, then you can forget about the mother of yours. The video ended right there and Kenichi broke the table on which the laptop was kept in anger. His body was releasing killing intent like never before. Kenichi, control your anger, we don't have much time, it's already 12 p.m. and that Hotel Deluna that man was talking about is at the other side of the city, Nijima said, taking out his tablet and searching for the Hotel Deluna. It's a new hotel which haven't been open for more than 2 months. Kenichi controlled his anger and his ki. If something happens to mother, then there won't be any controlling needed. Saying so, Kenichi ran out of the main dojo towards his bike. Hopping on it, he started the bike moving towards the dojo entrance. The door was left open by Apachai, so Kenichi didn't have to waste his time on it, but just as he came out of the dojo he saw a woman whom Kenichi had met before. Stopping his bike, Kenichi asked, "What are you doing here, Mississippi Lucy? Is there a change? Is your plan?" Anger was evident in his eyes as he knew that only those 3 men are capable of hiring someone from Yomi. Don't take it the wrong way, Mr. Shirahama, my boss George Smith has nothing to do with your mother's kidnapping, as he was against this plan, but the other 2 didn't have the patience to deal with you, so they went after your family. Lucy stated. Yeah. Like I would believe that, scoffed Kenichi. You have to believe it, as the next thing I am going to tell you is important for you, it's about your mother. Lucy said. What? Kenichi asked in surprise. Grabbing her by her shoulders, Kenichi asked, "What is it? Tell me." "Ah. You are hurting me," Lucy said. Only after that Kenichi came to his senses and let go of Lucy. "I am sorry," said Kenichi. "It's all right, Mr. Shirahama. Now about your mother, she isn't at Hotel Deluna, but she is kept at the Twin Tower instead, at the place where Wingosh became indebted to you and decided to give his company to you," informed Lucy. "That place is crawling with martial artists, but that's not important. The more important thing is that the chair she is sitting at is rigged with a C4, so she can't even stand up from it, if you don't disable the bomb first." C4. Those fucking bastards. Shouted Kenichi as his eyes were red. "We will take care of the bomb and save your mother, Kenichi, while you go to Hotel Deluna and deal with those men who called you there," came a voice from behind Kenichi, and as he turned around he saw his master standing there. "Master Akasame, can you really disable a C4? Asked Kenichi. "Of course, it is quite easy. If you want to know how to do it, I will teach you," Akasame said as caressed his mustache. "Fine, then please save my mother, masters, while I take care of the dirtbags who went after my mother," said Kenichi as he once again hopped on his bike and drives towards Hotel Deluna. Hotel Deluna wasn't a grand hotel, but it wasn't small as well. It was a building of 5 floors having its own parking space, but the weird thing was that the hotel wasn't any doorman, and even the reception's table was empty, seeing which Kenichi understood that Mike Williams and Stuart Johnson have emptied the hotel so that no problem arises when they deal with him. Unknown to them that this is the best setting Kenichi could have asked for, Looking around, Kenichi saw that there was a whiteboard on which a message was written for him. Come to the second floor, Mr. Kenichi Shirahama. Reading that message, Kenichi had a savage smile on his face and a glint in his eyes. He then walked towards the lift and entered it as he said, now it's time to meet those motherfucking sons of bitches. Chapter 166, Signing Ghosh Industries. Come to the second floor, Mr. Kenichi Shirahama. Reading that message, Kenichi had a savage smile on his face and a glint in his eyes. He then walked towards the lift and entered it as he said, now it's time to meet those motherfucking sons of bitches. The lift reached the second floor and Kenichi came out of the lift. Looking around, he found two big screens, one of which was showing his mother still tied on the chair and the other showed the three same shadow. As you can see, this is the live video feed of your mother. If you do anything which you are not supposed to do, then your mother will be hurt and you will see that love with your own eyes. Kenichi clenched his fists so tight that blood started to let riff them, but he didn't lost his cool as he knew that right about now his friends and masters were trying to save his mother. Just as she thought that, Kenichi saw a G-touch occur in the live video feed off his mother, seeing which Kenichi knew that Naijima must have somehow hacked the cameras and the current video was nothing but loop. Taking a deep sigh of relief as he knew that his mother would be safe in few minutes, Kenichi walked in front of the screen. What is it that you want me to do? Asked Kenichi. Nothing much, we just want you to sign the papers saying that you will be selling your shares of Ghosh Industries to us, said the shadow of the man. Kenichi looked around but there were no papers to sign on, hence he asked, where do I sign? Just a minute, said the man in the shadow as he pressed a button and said, bring the papers and pen for Mr. Kenichi Shirahama. A minute after the message, the lift was opened once again and from it came a tall man reaching 195 meters with a sword in his back. If Raichi or Tsukasa were here, they would have identified the man as Arata Nakamura, the person who was responsible for the kidnapping of Kenichi's mother. Pass the papers and pen to him, Mr. Arata, came the voice of the man from the screen. Arata? As in Arata Nakamura? Kenichi asked as he took the papers from him. Yes, that's me. But how did you know my name? I don't think we have met before, asked Arata. Raichi and Tsukasa told me, said Kenichi as his eyes were filled with killing intent. The only thing holding him back was his mother's safety, and until he doesn't receive any confirmation from his friends or masters, he can't make a move. Oh. Those girls are tough. I didn't know that they would wake up so soon, said Arata with a smirk on his face. You can talk to him later, Mr. Kenichi, but for now why don't you sign the papers and relieve yourself from those unnecessary shares, said the man from the screen. Kenichi, noticing that there still had been any confirmation, decided to sign the papers. But he used his left hand instead of the right hand for signing the papers, hence even if they have it, Kenichi could claim of not signing the papers in them being not his signatures if they were able to get their hands on these paper. ZZZZZZZZ asterisk. Just as he was going to pass the papers to Arata, good phone vibrated. Taking it, good call phone. Kenichi saw that Naijima had sent him a message with an image attached to it. Opening the image, he saw his mother standing alongside the girls, safe and sound, with the massage being mission successful. The loop will end in next 1 minute, so you have to get out by then. Pass on the papers, Mr. Shirahama, said the man from the screen. I will, but before that, why don't you let me hear my mother's voice first? I will like to make sure that this isn't just a video loop but a live footage. What do you say, Mr. Stewart, or it's Mr. Mike? Kenichi stated. There wasn't any reply for 5 to 6 seconds, then the face of the man was seen closely as the room he was sitting has switched on its light. The man was none other than Stuart Johnson. Why not George? Why did you think that it would be someone from the two of us? Asked Stuart with deep curiosity in his eyes. Are you seriously asking that? An incredulous Kenichi asked. I mean, there are only 2 names on the papers that I signed it. They were yours and Mike Williams, so how do you expect me to think that it would be George interested of you too? Never thought you would read the paper so thoroughly. But well, why doesn't really matter now, Stuart said as he turned his head and another man's face could be seen now alongside Stuart's. It was Mike Williams. I know you were an intelligent kid, said Mike with a smile smirk, so you wanted to talk with your mother before handing the papers. It's all right, we can do that for you. Saying so, Mike pushed a button and called the men's station to guard Sauri, but none of the guards were picking up the phone. What happened? Were you playing with me? Kenichi asked as he tried to hide the smirk that was threatening to come on his face when he saw the taxes of Stuart and Mike. Both men didn't reply to Kenichi and tried to connect call with any of their men stationed at Twin Towers, but none of them picked up. When only 10 seconds were left, Kenichi started the countdown loudly for everyone to hear. 10, 9, 8, 7. What is the countdown for Shirahama? Asked Stuart, but he didn't got any reply. Arata became tense and grabbed onto his sword on his back, ready to take action in any second. 3, 2, 1 is showtime. Chapter 167, Saving Saori Part 1. 10, 9, 8, 7. What is the countdown for Shirahama? Asked Stuart, but he didn't got any reply. Arata became tense and grabbed onto his sword on his back, ready to take action in any second. 3, 2, 1 is showtime. Kenichi finished and the screen which showed his mother's live footage changed. There were broken chairs and men lying around, but there was no sign of Saori Shirahama. It felt like a hurricane came in that room and took Saori Shirahama with her. What happened? Asked Mike, not being able to understand what he saw on his screen. Seeing the sight of complete destruction on the screen, Kenichi couldn't help but smile, thinking how they accomplished this. 10 minutes ago. Najima, Siko, Mio and Renka, along with every master of the Ryozanpaku dojo, were standing near the Twin Towers. Twin Towers isn't something that can be fully booked by someone, so they must have booked the upper floors, Sakaki said. But they still have C4 with them that is attached to Saori-san's chair. I don't think we can take them lightly, Mio stated. Don't worry, I already asked around and found that just in the morning quite a lot of people entered the right tower, so we know in which tower they kept Saori, Najima said. Now to find out which floor suite is, we will need to enter the control room of right tower and check the videos from the cameras in the tower. That's a nice plan, so what are we waiting for? Let's go, Renka said. No, it won't be that easy. If we enter the tower we will be seen in the video, and we can't remove the possibility that those keeping an eye Mrs. Shirahama are also able to look at these videos, hence we can't take the risk of being found out before we find where they are keeping Mrs. Shirahama, stated Akasame. I have a way around that, Najima stated. Oh. What is it? Kensei asked. Well, someone from you have to reach the control room without being seen and enter this chip in their CPU, and from there I can take care of the rest, Najima said as he showed the chip to everyone. It looked like a pen drive, but its size was twice of a pen drive. I will do it, said Shigeru. Yes, Shigeru-san is a real ninja. She will be best for espionage, Siko said. None of the masters had any objection as they weren't the silent type. Okay then, here Shigeru-san, please insert this chip in any working CPU in the control room, Najima said, handing the chip to Shigeru. Shigeru took the chip from Najima and kept it between her breasts for safekeeping. Since we don't know where the control room is, it's up to you to find out about that as well, Najima said. I will do it. Don't worry, Shigeru said and started to walk towards the right tower. Wait, Shigeru-san, before you go please take this, said Najima, patting where the communicator that could fit in her ear. Taking the communicator, Shigeru inserted it in her ear and could clearly listen what Najima was saying. With this we will be able to talk to you even though you will be far from us, Najima said. Shigeru nodded her head and said, I will tell you when I insert the chip. After saying that much, she entered the right tower through the vent and crawled her way in. She exited the vent from the ladies' washroom and suddenly got out from there without getting caught on the cameras. Hiding in a corner, she waited for any guard to pass by, and just as one did, Shigeru caught him, and with a sword on his neck she asked, Where is the control room? It's on the 5th floor, near the stairs. Control room is written on the door. Please don't kill me, said the guard. Shigeru knocked the guard incisors and made her way to the 5th floor. Reaching the 5th floor, she found the door which had control room written on it and entered the room by cutting the door open as the door was locked. Who are you? Asked a man with blonde hair and civil dress while his companion picked up his gun, pointing out at Shigeru. Shigeru looked around and saw that 2 guards that were supposed to working in the control room were tied in the corner, while the 2 standing in front of her were definitely with Saori's kidnappers. I don't care who you, but you came here at the wrong time, said the man holding gun. Grabbing her sword, Shigeru moved, and before man could even shoot a bullet, the gun in his hand was cut in pieces, and in next second he was knocked out along his partner. After taking out the two, Shigure started to find the place to insert the chip, but since she was one to it she couldn't find it, hence she haved one of the tied up guards and dragged him near the CPU and asked while showing the chip, "Where should I put this?" The guard gulped hardly and pointed his finger at the external point as he didn't want it to need with a woman who could cut a gun. After asking from the guard, Shigure inserted the chip and said the chip had been inserted. The guard who was beside her couldn't help but think who she was talking to. Outside the tower with Najima and others who listened to every word that Shigure said sighed in relief after hearing her last words. "Okay, just wait and I will find where they have kept Saori-san," Najima said and started fast typing on his laptop. Within seconds he found where she was there. She is at the 30th floor and have 20 guards with her, 3 of whom are carrying guns with them. "Good, now that we know where they are, let's go and beat the shit out of those bastards. I am gonna make them stay in the hospital for years to come," Sakaki said, grinding his teeth in anger. "I can say that it would be me who will force them to stay in the hospital bed for more years than you," Kensei chuckled. "What? You wanna bet, huh?" Chapter 168, Saving Saori Part 2. "I can say that it would be me who will force them to stay in the hospital bed for more years than you," Kensei chuckled. "What? You wanna bet, huh?" Sakaki said. "Please. You aren't the type to fulfill the bet, so just leave it there," Kensei chuckled. "Wait, the live video feed of Saori-san is being transferred to another signal outside the tower and I am sure that they are the ones who have foot the bill for all of this, so just let me change the video feed into loop so that they would see the same things that happened an hour before on their screens for next 5 to 6 minutes, Najima said as he ran his fingers on his laptop for some time. "And done, now they won't be able to see anything live, and if you want more time you can tell me since I can easily extend the loop." "No, that should be enough, let's go, we have a mother to save," said Akasame Koetsuji. "Apachai will beat those guys for kidnapping Kenichi and Anoka." "Mother," said Apachai as he swings his fist and legs in the air. Without any further ado the masters entered the building. The girls wanted to follow but Akasame stopped them, saying that they will let loose without any worry of hurting them and ending this fast so that Kenichi doesn't have to get into disadvantage. Shigure was the first one to reach the 30th floor as she was already on the building and started the decimation of the gang before any other master could reach the 30th floor. It was only until she has taken out half of the men did the others reach the room where Saori was kept and started to fight as well. Sakaki was angry as he didn't got to beat the most as Shigure had already beaten half of the men, including the ones with the guns, leaving them with nothing but waste to clean. "Aw!" shouted Sakaki as he punched a man, throwing him backwards as he coughs blood from his mouth. Apachai kicks 2 of the find and turns Song to find that every other had been dealt with, leaving him standing. Then he asked Appa. "It ended fast. What did you think would happen? Martial artists aren't so easy to use as goons," Sakaki said as he looked at Akasame, who had more walked towards Kenichi and Anoka's mother. "You don't have to worry, Mrs. Shirahama, we are from Ryozanpaku Dojo. Masters of your son and daughter," Akasame said. "Oh, you must be Akasame-san, then my daughter has told me about everyone who lives in the dojo. You are the one who takes care of my son, I am thankful for that," Saori said with a relieved smile on her face. "It's our duty, Mrs. Shirahama. Now before we cut these ropes I have to tell you something," Akasame started. "What is it?" asked Saori. "These men had fixed a C4 bomb under your chair which is right sensitive, and if you stood up now then there will be big blast from which we don't have the guarantee to save you," explained Akasame. Saori was stunned silent as she never thought of being in such a position and was scared not only for her but for her family as she knew that they would be so heartbroken that they won't be able to work properly on their own. "Now don't worry because I am pretty skilled with defusing bombs, so it won't be hard to defuse a weight sensory bomb, just trust me and stay still," Akasame said. "I will trust you, Akasame-san, please save my life," Saori said while nodding her head. Taking out the necessary equipment such as tweezers and plier to cut the wire, Akasame lied beneath the chair from the right side of it so as to not make Saori uncomfortable. This is quite an easy one. Looks like the one who made it was in a rush to finish it, so he went with the basic wire colors," Akasame said as he picked up the red wire with his tweezers and cut the wire with his pliers. "And done, you can now stand up, Mrs. Shirahama. Shigure, please help her," came Akasame's voice from beneath the chair. Shigure helped Saori stand up by offering her hand, to which Saori didn't shy from and grabbed it tightly. "You are Shigure. I have heard so much about you from my daughter that you were such a good sensei to her and also a sister as well, said Saori with a teasing smirk, returning back to her usual behavior after the incident was over. Shigure cheeks were tinted pink, but she still nodded her head in confirmation. Saori smiled after seeing her confirmation, then turned her head to look at Sakaki and Kensei. You two must be Sakaki Shio and Kensei Ma, right? My daughter have talked about you as well. Yes, we are, said Kensei, confirming for the both. It's good to see you again, Appa-chai. Please come to my house, I will make special dinner for you for always taking care of Anoka's safety, Saori said. Appa likes to play with Anoka. But Appa-chai will definitely come for the food, said Appa-chai with smile. Perfect, said Saori, then turned her head back to Shigure and with a smile she said, Ah. It's so nice to meet you finally. I already met with Mio, Siko, and Renka, and you were the only other girl who was in my son's life that I didn't met. While she and Shigure started to walk towards the exit without caring about the others anymore. Now I know from where did Kenichi and Anoka's for their positive personality, Sakaki said. Let's go out, work here is done, said Akasame, grabbing the diffused C4 bomb in his hand, followed by the other three. Came an audible voice from Sakaki's mouth. What happened, Sakaki? Asked Kensei. I am just thinking that where did the bastard that kidnapped Kenichi's mother and injured those two girls went, as he sure wasn't in the dregs that we dealt with, Sakaki stated. He is most probably at Hotel Deluna to make sure that Kenichi signs those papers. Chapter 169, Kenichi vs. Arata. He is most probably at Hotel Deluna to make sure that Kenichi signs those papers, Akasame stated. Oi, from what we heard that guy is a master-class martial artist. Do you think Kenichi will be able to deal with the guy himself, asked Sakaki. He injured Christopher and had even beaten Tenmonli. Do you think he would lose so easily, asked Akasame. That's true, but both of them committed a mistake of looking down on Kenichi and neither of them went all out against him right from the start, giving Kenichi time to land his attacks, but this time is different, that Arata Nakamura will go for his life, Sakaki said. Then we have to move fast from here, 2 of us could stay here and other 2 could go to Hotel Deluna to look after Kenichi, stated Kensei. Appa-chai will go, said Appa-chai. No. I and Kensei should go, while you 2 take the girls and Kenichi's mother back to dojo. She already knows Appa-chai and Akasame can easily make small talk, so she won't feel uncomfortable like she may feel with us, said Sakaki. That's a good plan, let's follow that. Akasame nodded his head as they ran towards the exit. Running out of the tower, they saw Kenichi's mother talking with the girls with a smile on her face. Okay, it's time to move out. Myself and Appa-chai will move towards the dojo while Appa-chai and Kensei will go and pick up Kenichi, Akasame stated. I already sent Kenichi a photo of Saori-san with the girls, so he should coming back early. Naijima said. That's good, Naijima, but we can't take any chances now, stated Akasame, and the others nodded their head. I have been meaning to ask this, but what has been the problem that my son got himself into, asked Saori. It's not our secret to tell Mrs. Shirahama, so you will have to wait for Kenichi to return and tell you about it, Kensei stated. Now then, we will be going, stated Sakaki, and he followed by Kensei ran from there in such a speed that everyone felt their clothes and hair flutter with wind. Hotel Deluna. Take those papers from him, Mr. Arata, and we will give you double the amount we promised you, Steward roared in anger. With pleasure, replied Arata as he dashed towards Kenichi. Kenichi was already ready for this, and as Arata's sword came from, he ducked and launched a kick towards his chest. The kick landed and Arata stumbled 5 to 6 steps backwards before he could regain balance. But Kenichi was once again in front of him and kicked him with all the strength, including his ki. Chai kick, shouted Kenichi, though it looked only a normal vertical kick upward that sends Arata flying in the air. Don't think I forgot that it was you who kidnapped my mother and hurt my friends, shouted Kenichi as he dashed towards Arata to continue his onslaught, but just as Kenichi reached his figure that was falling down, Arata slashed his sword while in the air, stopping Kenichi to close the distance, allowing Arata to get the chance to land on the ground. Fucking bastard, shouted Arata as sword became a blur as it moved towards Kenichi. Not expecting such a burst of speed from him, Kenichi dodged the sword, but not before getting a cut on his shoulder. Ryujui Saikuken. Not wanting to get his anger in his head, Kenichi turned his ki into a thin layer above the skin to dodge the opponent's attacks at the last possible second. This principle is necessary because dodging at the final moment before an attack hits saves time and energy. An absolutely calm mind is necessary to be able to use it, as even a slight degree of emotion will disrupt the technique. After creating it, Kenichi dodged every one of Arata's slash with minimum movement and punched him back with a technique taught to him to defend himself against armed martial artists, especially those using bladed essence. It is a corkscrew blow which dodges a sword swing and punches the opponent simultaneously. As the sword is swung, Kenichi begins the punch with the palm of his hand of the clenched fist facing upwards. Before his fist hits the weapon, he turns it counterclockwise, when using his right hand, which allows his thumb to face up and the weapon to pass along the back of his hand without touching him, thus effectively dodging the attack. He then completes the rotation while using his shoulder to extend his reach and punch Arata on his face, chest and shoulder. Shraha Nagashi. Ah. Cough cough fuck. Arata cursed as he coughed up blood after continuously taking on Kenichi's hit, and though Kenichi's arms were bleeding but they were only scratched and were not at the level from when he sparred against Tsutomu. Mountain Crusher, Kenichi shouted as his palm landed on Arata's stomach as he released a powerful wave of ki emitting from his palm, throwing Arata back as he coughed up blood from the internal damage. But Kenichi didn't want it to end there as he followed with one vacuum palm, throwing him out of the building. CRCK*, the glass window was broken and Arata's body fell down from second floor like a broken kite. Knowing that he was martial artist, Kenichi knew that he would survive the fall even if he was paralyzed for the future. Kenichi didn't cared. So he was your strongest person you could find, Kenichi said as he walked in front of the screen which showed Mike and Stuart's glum face. Now don't look so glum, I will be coming for you too from now on, so run wherever you can cause I will love a good chase. Kenichi said with a savage smile on his face. We don't think so, said Mike. Huh, so you think that you can save yourself from me? Kenichi asked. The matter of us saving ourselves will only come if you survive, Shirahama, Kenichi Stewart stated, though I want Ghosh Industries, but you have proved to be a much greater threat than it is, so you have die before I deal with that. You will need more than that bastard to kill me then, replied Kenichi. Stewart smiled and pressed a button. Boom. Chapter 170, Where is Kenichi? In the same morning as Saori's kidnapping. Ogata's ship. So what is that armed division's martial artist doing in Japan, asked Ogata. He took on a mission on his own. Which doesn't follow any of the teachings YAMI follow, said Alexander Gator, the first of destruction. Ha! What do you mean by that? Asked Agard Jumsai, the sovereign of fists and emperor of elbow. He took on a mission to kidnap a normal woman on the orders of some businessmen so that they can use her as a leverage against their son, replied Diego Carlo, the smiling steel fist. Hearing those words, the other master's eyes were shining with killing intent radiating from them. He has guts, said Makumo Kushinada, the bewitching fist. On that note, the leader of Armed Division 2nd Hades Oganasuk Yogi have asked if you or Akira would like to end him so he doesn't smudge their name anymore than he had already done, asked Senzui wearing mask of Saiga Furinagi. I would love to end such a dreg's life, said Ogata with a smile. Wait. Before you deal with him, why don't you let our disciples fight with him, asked Makumo Kushinada. They aren't strong enough to fight a master-class martial artist, stated Cyril Roman, Fist of Brahman. Not if they are alone, but if 2 or 3 fight him, then they will gain experience against fighting against someone from higher class who will try to kill them, Ogata stated. I would say that it's a nice idea. Then I will inform Sho to get everyone ready for an upcoming training of theirs, said Akira Hongo, the God Hand. This is going to be much more interesting than I thought, Ogata muttered with a smile on his face. Within 2 hours they were able to find where Arata Nakamura was, and Ogata along with Yomi moved towards them in a stretch limousine big enough for everyone to sit. Ha, we are going to fight against a master-class martial artist. Even though he is from Armed Division, he would definitely better than the rest we have fought against, right, Ogata-sensei, asked Shokano. Of course, he will be, and mind you, none of you alone are going to fight him as he is master-class swordsman. He could easily deal with you if you go one-on-one against him, said Ogata. So you want us to fight against him as a team, asked Boris. Not all of you have to fight against him at once. We will do it in doubles or triples after I gauge his strength, replied Ogata. This is to teach us the difference between classes, how to deal with them when the time arises, and experience, right? Asked Tyro Koken. Correct Tyroit, you all have never really fought against someone who could kill you in a single move, so this is going to first for you all, Ogata said. Is there going to be audience watching our fight? Asked Rachel Stanley. I don't think so, Rachel, but Diego told me to make a video of your fight so that he could show it to the many people later. Will that be enough? Ogata stated. It's not like real audience but still better than nothing, replied Rachel. The other didn't spoke much and it was mostly Sho and Rachel talking with Boris and Tyroit asking questions about the mission. Okay, we have reached there, let's go and meet Arata Nakamura, said Ogata getting out of the stretch limousine followed by others. The driver had parked the car on the backside of the hotel so everyone was facing the hotel's backside when Ogata shouted wait. Boom! After leaving Akase Manapachi with others, Sakaki and Kensei ran towards Hotel Deluna with full speed, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, building to building. Sakaki, I have meaning to ask you. But don't you think that you are needlessly worried about Kenichi? I mean, even if he doesn't beat Arata, I am pretty sure that he won't lose to him after all we have taught him and he have taught himself, Kensei asked. I am not worried about Kenichi losing to that sword bastard. I know that he will win the moment the sword bastard looks down on him. But I think that Kenichi will commit a mistake while fighting him and may end up doing something that he may regret in the future, and as his masters that is one of the things that we are supposed to stop him from doing. Sakaki replied. What are you saying? It's like you are saying that he will kill Kensei stopped right there when he saw the seriousness on Sakaki's face. You really think that Kenichi will kill him? He may not necessarily want to kill him, but he definitely wasn't planning on holding back, as I saw him leave his restraints in his room, and that includes his leg weights too, Sakaki replied. Then this means he is really angry and serious about this guy. We have to move fast or he may not be able to control himself. Kensei stated. Then what do you think I am doing right now? Sakaki huffed, and they picked up their speed a little more, and the people who passed by them felt like a storm just came as their clothes and hair fluttered so hard. They continuously ran for another few minutes and were finally able to see Hotel Deluna from a distance. We have finally reached the place, Sakaki said. Hopefully we are not late, Kensei stated. Boom! The two men stopped in their tracks when they saw the blast occur in Hotel Deluna, followed by another few blasts. Boom! 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 Interestingly, these blasts occurred on all the exit place of the hotel, including one near window of second floor, cutting of any entry or exit. Boom! Boom! Two more blasts that occurred, after which the whole hotel collapsed. Kenichi! Shouted Sakaki and Kensei as they ran towards the hotel at full speed. They reached it when the hotel had collapsed, though the flame were still raging on. But they weren't worried about the flame, instead they were worried about their disciple. Where is Kenichi? That wraps up this part of What If Martial Artist Reborn is Kenichi Shirahama. Thanks so much for listening. As always, new parts drop every 4 days, so be sure to stay tuned. Quick reminder. The series What If Transmigrated to a Medieval Pokémon World is now on hold, since we've caught up with the author. So now, I need your help picking the next project for the channel. I'm currently deciding between these 3 fanfics. What if creating the strongest Strawhat crew by reading manga? What if Reincarnated in Bleach as Toshiro Hitsugaya? What if Reborn in Naruto World, continuation? Please vote in the poll and let me know which story you'd like to see next. I'll take the top pick and start working on that series next. Also check out my Patreon channel for early releases of all the series, where you can find all the series released one day ahead of YouTube. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and please consider supporting the original author as well. See you in the next one.